how to get lucky, how to make the universe your sugar daddy. First thing first, I apologize if my voice sounds a bit rusty. I'm sick, but because I'm not a bitch, I decided today that I was going to make you guys a masterclass, try to give you as much value as possible. Even though I'm sick, I decided, I hold my word, I hold my commitments to you guys, so here I am. We're gonna talk about how to get lucky, how to make the universe your sugar daddy, and another thing that I wanted to tell you, shout out to my last video, somebody commented, and the guy, his name is Scott Guthrie 9218. It's my first comment on my first long format video on YouTube, so I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, hopefully this video helps you out as well. Today we're going to talk about how you can become lucky, how you can basically align yourself with the universe, and how you can start attracting better things in your life, feeling lucky. All right, let's get started. We've all heard of this story, right? There's basically two dudes, two brothers, like they have the same genes, right? So that's dude one, or dude A, that's dude B, right? They have the same genes, they're brothers, they have the same parents, they have the same upbringing, they have the same genetic disposition, they have the same job, right? So similar genetics, similar job, equal similar upbringing equal. But dude A, which we're gonna call Jeremy, we're gonna call him actually. Dude A is Jeremy, but because he's an unlucky motherfucker, we'll put him in red. So that's Jeremy, right? Then you have Jack. Jack is the lucky one, right? This guy is lucky, this guy isn't. So basically what happens is, those two are brothers, right? They have the same genetics, same job, same upbringing. Jeremy, he is still living in his mom's basement, he's still struggling, even though he has the same job as dude B, same business model as Jack, and Jack, he's living on a yacht with beautiful, with his friends and beautiful woman, whatever you want to call it, whatever the dream life you envision for yourself. How come these two brothers have had the same hand dealt and Jack is lucky? Right? And we've all heard that. We've heard this story about those two brothers. Their father was an alcoholic, and one ended up being like the father, being alcoholic, and the other one ended up being a success because he refused to be like his father. I'm already giving you hints here, but it all comes down to your alignment, all right? The problem with most people, and I'm sure you've fallen into that scam as well, you've been programmed by society to think that the only way to success is to work hard, right? Spoiler alert, it's a fucking scam. Why is it a scam? Simply because working hard alone does not equal wealth, does not equal success, right? There's plenty of people that work hard at their shitty job and they're unhappy, unfulfilled, and they get a shit pay. According to stats, 85% of people dislike their jobs. Just realize this, like fucking 85 people. You could be one of them watching this video. Cool, so work hard is a scam because construction workers, they work extremely hard and they get usually a shit pay, right? I have a client of mine, he has worked in the construction field for about, I think it was 25 to 35 years. Don't remember exactly, but shout out to you, Maxim. He has worked a shit ton, like a very, very long time in the construction. He works extremely hard. The guy is dedicated, disciplined, committed, right? Still, it didn't bring him freedom, it didn't bring him fulfillment, it didn't bring him the money that it could have brought him if he would have done already what I'm going to tell you to do in this masterclass. So working hard is not it, guys. You've been conditioned to think working hard is the only solution. That's not the case. So what is the second scam that you've been taught to think? Drum roll. Work smart. Right? That should do it. Scam! That's not it. That's not it, guys. Working smart alone doesn't work. You could be smart, you could have crazy studies, right? I have a bachelor and master's degree. They didn't bring me any single penny. Because the problem is, especially nowadays, it's so disconnected from reality, especially with internet, especially with everything that's happening online and the exponential rate at which things grow, that you basically go to a business school, in my case it was a business school, even Ivy League business schools, based on professors that have learned things with books 10 years ago. Modern world literally went like this. It went exponential, right? So their rate of progress of the professors in the business was like this. So obviously there is a gap between here and here, right? That's the gap. You have the gap here. If you're watching in this YouTube channel, the goal here is for you to excel in all aspects, right? That's my motto. My mission is to create the next generation of millionaires that are successful in every single aspect, that are sovereign in every single aspect. There's no point of you being a millionaire if you're a fat fuck and you're gonna die at 40 because you're obese. There's no point for you to be in extremely good shape if you're broke, right? There's no point in you being able to be very good with women if you're just faking confidence and still you're broke. Because knowledge is power, but it's only a potential power if you have knowledge that can be applied to the physical world, that can be used in direct proportion of the amount of money it brings to you, all right? So working smart is not enough. It's a good start, but it's not enough. So how do you actually become lucky? 99% of people do it wrong. They focus purely on action. And if you've watched the first masterclass that I've done, I kind of like explained to you already the 7 to 10 steps of materialization of your desired reality, coming from the quantum field until the physical action, right? So most people, what do? 99% of the population, their mental paradigm is, I'm gonna do this thing, then I'll have the Lambo, for instance, and then I'll be happy. That's 99% of people, how they operate. And that's probably how you operate too. Has it brought you any success lately? Or at least tremendous amounts of success? Usually not, right? So 99% of people, they focus on do, have, be, right? I'll take massive amount of action. I'll work at my job. I'll climb the corporate ladder. Then I'll have the money to be able to buy the things that I want to buy. And then I'll be happy. That's the worst way to do it, because you think that these accomplishments are gonna allow you to be happy. That's a fallacy. That's a fucking fallacy. If you're not happy today, you're never gonna, first and foremost, attract the real desired reality that you want. And you're gonna soon realize that once you work so hard and you sacrifice, if you're not in alignment, by the way, you're gonna sacrifice some of the aspects of your life. That's why you have so many people that chase money. So many people chase money, but then they sacrifice their relationships or they sacrifice their health. That's a bicep, okay? Can't you see it? I mean, come on now. By doing this, you can only have one, right? You either have money or relationship or health. Or one. It's very hard for you, by following this equation of 99% of people, not only to attract luck, but also be successful in every single aspect. Most people, they think, oh, I'm gonna work extremely hard, corporate ladder, have all the money to buy the mansion, to buy all that thing, and then I'll be happy. Once you realize that all these external things doesn't bring you happiness, what happens then? This is the formula to depression. I'm telling you this for depression. That's the formula for depression. Why am I telling you this? Simply because I've had so many friends that focused so much on the do part, like work hard, just to be able to be a millionaire, to become millionaires, to have the Lambo, to have everything. and then they were like happy for literally 2 days. They were happy for 2 days, and then they were like, okay, so now what? Why is this formula? The formula for depression is simply because this gives the power. This formula gives the power to the external world. The moment you give your power to the external world and you expect it to bring you happiness is the moment that you not only relinquish your own power and you don't understand how powerful you are, and number two, you're never gonna be happy, all right? Again, so many of my friends, they focus so much on working hard for years and years and years on end, just to have the money, just to have the Lambo, right? But they sacrificed everything in the process. They became fat, they became unhealthy, and then they didn't even have a girlfriend, or they sacrificed their relationship with their family just to be millionaires. And then they thought they were gonna be happy with the Lambo, with the millions in the bank account, and then they realized that it didn't bring anything. You don't even become happy. You have like pleasure for 2 days, and that's it. So that's the formula of the 99%. And you watching this, there is 99% probability that you're following this formula. So focusing on working hard in order to have and then be happy. Now I'm going to teach you the formula of the 1%. And that formula, by the way, is the one formula that is going to allow you to become happy. So the formula of the 1% is literally the opposite. Instead of, I'm going to do this to have this and then I'll be happy, the 1% understand that everything is energy, that the universe vibrates, that everything that is around us is energy. By the way, if you haven't downloaded my book, Reality Hack, it's a quick introduction on how to align with the cosmic laws of the universe with an online business, and how you yourself also can start to align with the universal laws of success. I highly recommend you download it. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. But either way, basically, you need to realize that we, with the human eye, only see the visible spectrum of the entirety of the electromagnetic spectrum, only represent 0.0035%. All right? Our eyes can only see the visible spectrum, which represents only 0.0035% of the entirety of the electromagnetic spectrum, right? What does that mean? 99.9965% is invisible to us. Is invisible for us, right? So 99.9965% of the world around us is invisible to us. Your eyes sometimes are fooling you. Your eyes don't see the bigger picture. We don't even see this. We don't even see this little dot on this whole screen, on this whole board, because the board is 10 times larger. That's basically it. We only see a tiny dot on a board that is 100 times larger than this, 1,000 times larger than this. Do you realize that we don't see anything? So it would be arrogant for us to presuppose that the physical world, what we call the physical world, what we see with our eyes, is all there is. If you don't believe in the unseen world and the invisible world, not only is it a proof of your arrogance, but it's also self-sabotaging yourself. We know that everything is energy, right? And so you can tap into this energy. You are an energetical being. Everything that we look on the subatomic level is particle that vibrates. Everything. Your body vibrates, right? Your body vibrates, and why you stick it together is because your entire being, by the law of energetical equilibrium, which keeps your particles close to each other, they keep your particle close to each other because you are energy vibrating at a certain frequency. Everything around you is energy vibrating at a certain frequency. Cool. Now that we know that there is much more to the world than what we see with the eyes, right? We understand that just the physical world or the physical action is not enough. We need to tune into the remaining 99.9965%. Cool. Coming back to the 1%, what does the 1% lucky or successful people? Have you ever noticed, by the way, every time somebody is successful, the average Joe say, he just got lucky. Well, motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you how to be lucky today. Don't ever call somebody successful lucky ever again, simply because you're gonna understand it's not really luck. They created it. Cool? So, the 1% that is successful, what do they do? Instead of, remember, we said most people, they do to have to be, right? They do work hard to have the Lamborghini to be happy, right? The 1%, they understand that the world is energy, right? The 1% is typically very interested in the occult, very interested in esoteric teachings, in the world-class ancient secrets of the pharaohs, of the Egyptians, of the ancient civilization, right? That's what I've been studying for the last 4 years. 250K invested in mentorship mastermind and 100 books read all around the human potential, the laws of success, the universe, God, and the energy, basically. So all these YouTube masterclasses that I'm gonna do to you guys is really to empower you, basically master every single aspect of your life. This channel is basically being entirely dedicated to your own self-mastery. Because when you master self, you can master the world around you. Cool? 1%, what do? They be to do and then to have. Right? You need to understand that well-being and happiness is the starting point. That's the thing. If I wasn't feeling good about myself, I would have never had the confidence to speak to you on camera or to give you value, right? You need to first be good with yourself. You need to be in a good place of well-being. How I started my business, for those of you who are new to this channel, who don't follow me on Instagram, where I have over 100K followers, just if you want to follow me and if you want to chat with me there. What I did, I basically went through a breakup when I was 18. It crushed my heart. I was a skinny dude. I thought I wasn't good enough. So I started to go to the gym, right? I started to go to the gym. I gained about 8 kilo muscle in 6 months. And when I saw that I could transform my body, I was like, maybe I'm not cursed. Maybe I can change things in my life. So therefore, I started to change my mindset. I started to think and reprogram my mindset. Once I started having less dark thoughts, because I was depressed and I had crazy dark thoughts. And we're going to talk about this in this masterclass. So if you have dark thoughts, stay with me to the end, because it's a matter of how to manage and how to handle them. All right. So if you have dark thoughts, if you have doubts, uncertainty in your life, if you feel like it's really hard these days, stick with me to the end. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to manage those hard times and how you can turn them into blessings and how to attract luck. Okay. So it's important to understand you need to be first, right? I changed my body. It made me realize I could change my life. So I changed my mindset then. When I started changing my body and my mindset, I was like, I feel good about myself physically. I feel good about myself mentally. That also did that I naturally became more magnetic. I attracted more girls. So I was like, okay, cool. I went from this shy, timid kid who got his heart broken to having tens of potential prospects that are way better than the one that I got my heart broken with, right? I was like, okay, everything's changing now. So maybe if I can change my body, I can change my mindset, I can change my relationship, maybe I can change my financial situation, right? And then I started selling mindset coaching, right? Via Instagram. And that's how I made 4 months later, thanks to a mentor that guided me through the process, 4 months later or 5 months later, I made my first 10K per month, right? I started back in November 2020. So my point is, I would have never been able to do, here we go. I would have never been able to make money or to take the actions to make money, right? To make 10K per month with my business here, if I didn't take the actions of posting content on Instagram, selling my mindset coaching, high level actions, Because I felt good about myself. I felt good. You see what I mean? I'm reverse engineering how I got 10K per month, but obviously you watching this, some of you are making 100K per month, $1 million a month. That's not the point. The point is to get you to the next level, right? And sovereign and successful in every single aspect of your life. So we reverse engineered this formula. You need to first feel good about yourself, because when you feel good about yourself, you operate from a place of abundance, of well-being, which will compel you to do certain things. If I didn't feel confident in myself, so confidence, if I didn't feel certain that I'm going to change some of your guys' life, if I didn't operate from a place of self-love, because you can only love somebody or you can only give somebody from your own cup of love, right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if I didn't love myself, I couldn't operate from a place of love that I'm doing now, a place of abundance. Therefore, I couldn't take the actions of shooting this YouTube video, and therefore I couldn't have a badass community. Shout out to you, Scott Guthrie. I'm gonna have to shout out some of you guys, because some of you guys have also commented on my shorts, and I love the positive comments and stuff like that. By the way, I feel like I've talked to many of my clients. My client Olivier, that I'm working out every morning around 5 to 6 a.m. with, and we were talking. We were comparing the quality of audience between Instagram and YouTube. And some of you guys, you're here on YouTube, it feels like you guys are much more positive. But that's also because psychologically you are in a search of purpose, you're in a search of knowledge, you're in a different psychological frame of mind, right? Because you're consuming a longer form content, right? Whereas people on Instagram, usually they use Instagram more to chat or to watch short form content. So the psychological frame of mind in which you enter the content is different. Either way, going back, you need to be before you can do the right actions, then have, right? So basically, if you guys want to have more money, okay, reverse engineer, you need to take certain actions and those actions need to operate from a place of love and abundance, right? Because if you operate from a place of scarcity, those actions are not going to be supercharged with energy, and therefore are going to have less impact. You need to first be happy, good with yourself, love yourself, to be able to take energetic aligned action, right? Higher level, higher consciousness actions that will be supercharged and that will be aligned with the universe. Therefore, you're gonna have much more. That's what most people don't understand, right? Most people, again, they operate from scarcity, right? They operate from scarcity because they don't feel good about themselves. Guys, crazy. Like, did you know that 70% of the US population is either overweight or obese? How the fuck can you feel good about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror every morning and you see a fat slob? I know I couldn't. Get in shape. If you want me to help you get in shape, get jacked and shredded in 90 days, 280 days, send me a DM on Instagram. I know how important being in shape is in terms of increasing your energy and increasing your confidence. So if you want that, it will be my pleasure to help you out. Cool? Scarcity, they operate from scarcity, then they take minimal action, they do the bare minimum, basically, minimum action, and then they wonder why they have no dollars or they don't have the things that they want, right? Whereas if you operated from a place of abundance, because you love yourself, abundance, then you would take aligned, leveraged actions. I'm gonna explain to you what it is. Actions. And then you would have great results. Give you an example. Example 1. And then here's going to be example 2. Scarcity mode. I don't feel good about myself. I feel in uneasiness with myself. I don't have confidence. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stick to my job and I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to talk to my boss and talk down on my colleagues in order to try to up-level my position compared to them. That's an extreme example, obviously. If you're watching this, I don't think you guys are doing this, but you understand. You operate from scarcity. You take minimal leverage action because you're like trying to put people down to elevate yourself. and you hope that this is going to give you a raise or a bonus or a promotion. That's an extreme example, but it's the one that I got from the top of my head. All right? Then you have abundance, the example 2. Abundance is you feel so confident and good about yourself that you realize that you've gone through challenges in your life. I'm telling you basically what I've done. You feel so good and you feel confident in yourself, and confidence is the elixir to manifesting your desired reality. Confidence and certainty and abundance are primordial emotional states to materializing your goals. You feel so good about yourself, you feel confident, you feel good, so you want to give back to the world. You think and you realize, okay, well, I've gone through some challenges in my life, and I know some people that are going through those challenges need guidance. So maybe I can start helping them leveraging the internet, leveraging social media. You were fat before, you were unconfident fat, and you lacked energy, right? You were always a bit zombified, going to the 9 to 5, all of that. You found out a workout routine, a nutritional routine, and a morning routine that not only got you jacked, shredded, but also increased your energy and your confidence level. Now you operate from abundance. You know that you've gone through this because you operate from a frequency of abundance. Now you can take aligned leverage actions, which is, okay, well, how can I give back to the world? Well, maybe I can position myself on social media or create a YouTube masterclass or whatever, and give back to the world. You take some aligned actions, and then maybe from all the people that are going to watch your content, some of them will want to have your help because they identify themselves with what you do, they love what you do. That's how you can create an empire, basically, afterwards, right? Over time. It's extremely important. If you're not noting those down, guys, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You should be taking notes. It's extremely important for you to understand that this is the 1%. This is what they do. They first get in line. This is what you see. They don't tell you this, but this is why it's important to feel good about yourself, meditate, visualize, take care of yourself, right? You see all those guys. Never understood, by the way, because there's 2 schools, right? There's the school where they tell you, take care of yourself, you have time, relax. But that's a scam, because they're like, if you relax too much, you're never going to take action and you're always going to procrastinate. And then on the other side, you have the guy who is telling you like, no, never take a day off, typical red pill, whatever. Never take a day off, hustle, hustle, hustle. But the problem is that leads to burnout. And when you're on constant pressure, constant stress, you cannot be creative. You cannot create and take actions that are going to move the needle the right way if you're constantly pressing yourself, right? You need a middle. Life follows rhythm. You need to understand that this is life, right? The season follow this. Your heartbeat follow this. Your breathing follow. Inhale, exhale, right? Everything in life expands and contracts, right? So you need to understand the natural laws of the universe, because if you follow those, then everything is going to flow naturally for you. If you're only contracting, right, working, then you're gonna lead to burnout, right? And if you're only relaxing, you're not gonna do anything, right? Zero advancements, zero accomplishments. So it's always a matter of balance, right? They talk to you about balance. I was the first one to be extremes on both sides. Whether it was for women, whether it was for working out and nutrition, whether it was for working, right? I have quite an obsessive personality. When I was younger, I didn't have any purpose, right? I was working 9 to 5 job because I was so bored at my 9 to 5 job. I escaped my current reality with drugs, booze, women, right? I lived for the weekend, basically. Problem is, when you really don't have a purpose or a goal in life, when you don't have a clear direction, you tend to need more and more to feel the same amount of joy or pleasure or dopamine, right? If you go down the hedonistic rabbit hole, usually what happens is you need more booze, you need more women, more drugs, all of that. And one day, that led me to have a stroke at 23. I don't know if you guys can see it. But basically, I had a stroke at 23, and that was my wake-up call. If you're going through bad times these days, it may be that your breakthrough is right in the corner. Don't lose hope. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't lose hope. Because that stroke, the fact that I had a stroke at 23, was the pivotal moment for me to wake up, and I was like thinking like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? What the fuck are you doing with your life, Jay? I was looking at the white, dirty ceiling, this little Japanese doctor lady came to me and she was like, hey man, you got this close to not surviving. That flipped a switch in me. And this is when I became obsessed, but on the other side of personal development, right? So if you guys are watching this, likes attract likes. I have a naturally obsessive personality. I was a video game addict before, then I was booze addict, and then I was a woman addict, and now I became a personal development addict. And when we have this type of obsessive personality, it's good when it's time to work and put in and go in the direction of our obsession, but we need to slow down a bit. And I know it's hard for us. We have like some obsessive personality. It's hard for us. We feel like we are doing nothing, but again, life follows a natural rhythm. So you can push. I'm telling you, you can really push, but once you start feeling like your creativity is not there anymore and you start feeling sick, for instance, as I am right now, it's your body showing you, bro, chill out, it's time to chill. The mere fact that I'm sick right now is because I pushed my body too much these last 3 weeks without taking a break. No break. Waking up every morning at 2:45 a.m. and working until 8 p.m. Not relaxing, not anything. That's my obsessive personality. And hopefully this resonates with some of you. Again, I'm grateful if it only helps, it changes 10 people's lives. I'm grateful for at the moment we speak, we have 314 or 40 views on my last video, on my last long format video. I'm super grateful for you guys. Love you. Cool. So again, we need balance. Even though we have an obsessive personality, we need a tiny bit of balance because otherwise we're going to get burned out and we're going to get sick. And when you're like burnt out, really burnt out, you can't do shit, right? And all the momentum that you've built those last few weeks is destroyed. So we don't want that. Cool. So how to make, now the real question that everybody wants answered is how to make the universe your fucking sugar daddy, right? That is all you nasty motherfuckers. That's why you're here. So we're gonna talk about this. Let me just clean my board a bit. Don't want you guys to not understand what I'm going to talk about with all the writing. Cool. So you remember you need to be, then you're going to be able to do, and then you're going to be able to have. Cool. The alignment equation that I also talk in my book, so I'm going to, again, link in the description. It's a quick read. 2 hours. If you're a fast reader, it's read in 2 hours. And I'm talking about this alignment. It's super important. So you need to align with the universe. So how do we align with the universe? Well, we know that the universe, right, doesn't respond to your actions, first and foremost. It responds to one thing in priority, your energy, aka your frequency, right? And this has been proven by quantum physics, right? That's the most important thing, because your frequency is basically the energy that you emit. You may not know this, but you emit thought waves, electricity from your brain out of your skull, and you emit magnetism from your heart area, basically, your body. There's a life force that exudes from you. That's why some people, when they have strong life force and strong mental magnetism, they're very charismatic. Some other people, they don't have a lot of mental force, and they don't have a lot of physical force or physical life force, and therefore they're not magnetic, right? Usually, they're the guy you don't remember. So the more magnetic you are, usually what happens? The more you attract people to you. You attract people, therefore you attract opportunities. Because money is really people, right? It's only by serving other people that you're gonna make money, right? So by you being magnetic, or by you positioning you in such a high value manner, you're going to become more magnetic, you're gonna elevate your frequency, and therefore you're gonna attract more people. So you see, frequency is simply another word to say your level of magnetism to the universe. Because charisma is magnetism towards other people, frequency is magnetism towards the universe, right? And the universe, God, is the grand architect of everything, right? There's no coincidence. For some of you guys who still believe in coincidence, I'm gonna put a quote of Albert Einstein here, where he says, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. There's no coincidence, right? Everything is intelligently designed. If you see some stuff that you don't like happening in your life, it's because you attracted them by your frequency, by the 3 elements of alignment. If you have great things happening to you and you feel lucky, lucky is a feeling and luck is an energy, it means that you're aligned with the frequency of abundance and frequency of luck. Right? Cool. Now, again, we remember, be, do, have. The alignment goes as follows. Thoughts, which creates your emotions, which creates your actions. This is the alignment, right? Thoughts, emotion, action. If you focus purely on actions, you're going to be the typical guy who just works hard, and then 5 years from now, he realized that he worked on the wrong blueprint with the wrong energy, and now he wasted 5 years, basically. If you purely focus on emotions, feeling good, well, it's good, but you're not going to make any progress, right? You're going to stay in your zone. Same thing with the thoughts. If you only focus on positive thoughts, yes, it's going to be great in your mind, but you lack the 2 steps of the equation, right? So here it's really like your brain, basically, right? Or your mind, if you will. Your mind. Here, it's going to be your heart or your soul. And here basically is going to be, well, your physical body, right? Taking action, body. Well, it's going to be hands, if you will, right? Hands, because you're doing something with your hands, hands/body. And what have you noticed here? Well, mind, body, soul. What do they talk about in the Bible? Right? Alignment with mind, body, soul. That's why it's extremely important in all ancient esoteric knowledge and ancient sacred texts. They talk about alignment. If you're not aligned, thoughts, emotions, actions, you're not going to get success. You're not going to get lucky, because being lucky is an emotion. Being lucky is a frequency. Being lucky is a symptom of tapping into the frequency of abundance. All right? It's literally that. So basically, remember when we talked about Jeremy and Jack? Well, Jeremy took massive action, but he had bad emotions. He felt unconfident and he had thoughts of uncertainty. He didn't feel certain about his outcomes. He took the same action, same job, whatever, but he wasn't aligned. Jack, on the other hand, he first reprogrammed his mind, right? Feeling certain about himself, feeling good about himself, operating from a place of abundance, and that allowed him to take better leverage aligned action, which in turn made him better results, right? Now you're gonna ask me, okay, cool, man, but like, what if I have dark thoughts, I don't feel good about myself, and I don't know what to do? Thought you never asked. So how do we then have great thoughts? First and foremost, and then great emotions, and then great actions. Thoughts, emotions, and then actions. Cool. As I told you before, I used to have, and I still do have, negative thoughts. This morning, I had crazy low frequency. We were talking about this with my client and friend at the gym. Crazy bad thoughts in the morning when I woke up. But the thing is, if you let that continue throughout the day, if you let that take over your morning, you're dead. Because whatever emotion, whatever thought, whatever action you take in the morning determines the direction of the rest of your day. Which is why we say win the morning, win the day. If you win the morning, you win the day. If you win the day, you win the week. If you win the week, you win the month. If you win the month, you win the year. If you win the year, you win the decade. And if you win the decade, you win life. That's as simple as that. But it all starts with the morning. You know this. Studies show that by 9:36 a.m., people know if their day is going to go bad or not. Right? If you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and usually you have bad news and stuff like that, and you focus on that bad negative energy, bad frequency, everything in your day is shit. You stub your toe, your boss is telling you to fuck off, all of that. You've noticed that, right? But when you have a great morning, you seem blessed, right? So how are we're gonna basically reverse engineer the morning. So making sure you're always blessed, always lucky, right? Cool. So whenever you have dark thoughts, the number one tip that I can give you is having a morning routine. This has changed my life in so many ways, I cannot tell you how much, right? Morning routine, absolutely important, guys. When you wake up, don't fucking watch your phone. If you watch your phone, you're opening up yourself to the frequency of the world, right? The societal programming. And let me remind you that society, if you follow society, you're gonna end up like the majority of people who follow society, aka average people, right? Basically the masses, basically 9 to 5, rat race, unfulfilled, unhappy. That's the average, guys. Like, literally, you need to realize that just by you following a morning routine, I can even give you my morning routine if you want, you're gonna be above 99.99% of people. And remember this equation. I'm gonna put it here so you guys remember. It's all about be, do, have. Right? It's all about this. So be to have. You need to be the guy, you need to become the person worthy of having your desired reality, of having the dreams and the goals that you have, right? You become a millionaire long in your mind before it becomes real in your bank. Cool? So you become a millionaire first. So what is the identity of a millionaire? How does a millionaire think and feel? Then you take the actions of the millionaire. So what are the high leverage activities, high income generating leverage activities that the millionaire take, and what are his success habits? And then over time, you get the millions of dollars and the Lambos and the mansion, whatever. That's how they do it. Cool? Now it all starts with thoughts, remember? So it goes like this, right? Thoughts, emotion, and then action. Cool. The number one thing that has tremendously changed my life is a morning routine. Every single morning, I usually had 80 to 90% of the time, I had bad thoughts in the morning, dark thoughts, right? I'm not good enough. Why am I not successful enough? Why am I still this? Da 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 da, all of that. The thing that saved me, really, guys, is a morning routine. And the right morning routine will literally prime you. It will prime you to the fucking day, all right? Like literally, once you've done your morning routine, you're why it works is basically because you're stacking up wins. You're already doing some positive actions that activate your brain, and you're stacking up win in your subconscious mind. And also, an additional bonus that I can give you, I would tell you, like, start waking up before 4 a.m. Start waking up before 4 a.m. Wake up at 4 a.m. or before. Obviously, it depends on you, right? It depends on if you have a night shift or whatever. But I know this. All right, guys. So at the moment, I was gonna explain to you why waking up before 4 a.m. is so important. My video shut down, so now I've recharged the battery enough for me to finish off this masterclass. But so if you see a weird cut or if you see some weird stuff, that's normal, that's why, okay? Cool. So first and foremost, I wanted to tell you, it's really hard, when you wake up at 4 a.m., there's a certain frequency that you tap into, there's a certain energy that you tap into. It's really hard for your subconscious mind to feel like a fucking loser when you wake up before everybody else and you're already grinding and chasing growth at 4 a.m. or before. And it's all about really creating those positive thoughts in the morning is so important. This morning routine is going to give you the clear winning direction for your day. It's really, really easy, guys, to be above everybody else. It's really easy to be above the average mass. It's really, really easy to be part of the 0.01%. Let me pull you up some stats and some research that I've done right before this masterclass, just for you to clearly understand how easy it is for you, just with the morning routine and just with success habits, to be above 99.99% of the population. All right? Only with this information, you're gonna feel good about yourself, because you're gonna know, if you just follow through this morning routine and those actions, those success habits, not only are you going to reprogram your mind, your subconscious mind, to feel like a boss, but also you're going to know that you're a boss, because statistically it's proven that you're a boss if you do everything I'm going to tell you to do. Cool. So I did some research this morning. Basically, I wanted to know the percentage of the people who wake up willingly before 4 a.m., work out every day, is not overweight, is reading non-fiction books every day, so that's in the morning routine as well, who make money online, who doesn't watch porn, who eats clean, who meditates and visualizes every single day, and who produce content on social media to better and impact the lives of others. The answer, I'm gonna give you like stats per stats and then a global of all the traits. Wakes up before 4 a.m. Only about 1 to 2% of people wake up before 5 a.m. and far fewer wake up at or before 4 a.m. willingly. So you're already part of the 1% if you wake up at 4 a.m. or before. And again, just go to bed early. Truly, there's nothing really productive to do after 9 p.m. Like, let's be real, guys. Like, after 8 p.m., 9 p.m., most of you guys, you're not grinding on your purpose. If you're now owls and you're grinding on your purpose, then it's different. But most of you, you're going to watch TV, watch Netflix. Does that help you out? No, it really doesn't. So might as well just go to bed early, reprogram yourself to go to bed early, and then just wake up earlier in the morning and chase growth. That's how you gain those hours that you need to be able to build your empire and to build your life of freedom. Works out daily. Around 23% of Americans meets the recommended levels of physical activity, but only a fraction work out daily. Not overweight. In the US, around 70% are either overweight or obese. If you're watching this, 70% of you are obese or overweight. So again, guys, get to the fucking gym. Get better nutrition. Only by you seeing that you're gonna get shredded and jacked, you're gonna feel 1,000 times more confident and have higher energy levels, allowing you to do more shit during the day, allowing you to build your empire, allowing you to build that life you truly desire, right? So again, if you want me to help you get jacked and shredded, I'll put a picture of me before and after the transformation that I've done in just a few months. I'll put a picture up. If you want me to help you get jacked and shredded, just DM me on Instagram at JChrisMentor and comment and send me the code workout. We'll do that workout, and then I'll help you out to shred and get jacked. All right. And my promise to you is that you're going to have 10x energy levels, and you're going to feel 100 times more confident after 90 to 180 days. Cool. Read non-fiction books every day. Only 70% of people read daily, and far fewer stick to non-fiction for personal development. Makes money online. The digital economy is blowing, but only a small percentage actively makes a living online. Probably around 3 to 5%. Only 3 to 5%. Doesn't watch porn. There's 64% of men and 18% of women who watch porn regularly, guys. 64%. It destroys your life force. It makes you feel guilty, makes you feel shame. Those are the lowest types of emotions on the map of consciousness, on the frequency chart. And then you wonder why you're not lucky, because you're watching porn every day and you're masturbating every day. There's so many guys who started to express becoming luckier the moment they stopped, watching porn. Simply because if you look at the map of consciousness and the frequency chart, if you're consistently watching porn, you're consistently stuck at shame and guilt. And those are the lowest of the lowest emotions that are dragging you down in the frequency chart. And remember, luck is a frequency. It's basically you aligned with the frequency of abundance. And you can only tap into that frequency of luck if you elevate your emotions. If you feel confident about yourself, you're going to attract better opportunities, right? But for that, you need to stop watching porn, because you need to stop having those pockets of shame and guilt to be able to ascend to higher levels of emotions. Cool? I'll do another masterclass exactly on how to tap into the map of consciousness and how to elevate emotion by emotion, basically. Eat clean. Only around 10% of Americans report eating the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables. Meditate and visualize daily. Meditation is growing in popularity, but only 14% of Americans meditate at least once per week, guys. And less than 1% produce content on social media for self-improvement. And when you combine all these traits, guys, we're talking about an extremely rare subset of people. Less than 0.01% of the population globally. So if you're doing everything that I told you to do, waking up willingly before 4 a.m., working out every day, not being overweight, reading non-fiction books every day, making money online, stop watching porn, eat clean, meditate and visualize daily, and produce content on social media to better the lives of others, guess what? You're aiming for ultra elite habits that position you above 99.99% of people that don't even come close to mastering all these at once. Do you realize how easy it is to be above average? So just have a badass morning routine. Typically what I do is I wake up at 2:45 in the morning, I hydrate, I meditate in silence, I visualize. I have two types of visualization, super specific. I then write some stuff on my notebook. I read and then I go work out. Work out at 5 to 6 a.m. depending on when my friends or clients are available. Cool? So already nurturing those thoughts. And by the way, remember, go watch the first masterclass that I've done, the previous video, long format video that I've done on that, because the fact that you're gonna understand why it's so important to dissociate yourself with your thoughts, because you're not your thoughts. The moment you realize that you are not your thought, that you're just a spiritual radio, as I explained exactly in the previous masterclass, it's going to be so much easier for you to have better thoughts. Cool? Now, emotions. How do you actually feel good about your life, right? What type of emotion do you need to nurture? How do we actually tap into those, right? Well, you need to feel how you would feel if you were in your desired reality. You need to visualize the identity of yourself needed, your future self, your higher self needed, which will attract the desired reality that you want. And you need to ask yourself, how would I feel? So the easiest way to do this is simply two types of visualizations. A visualization of your goal and a visualization of your identity. Meaning, you visualize how your dream life exactly would unfold. Naturally, you're gonna start to feel better. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel from a place of abundance. And then you're gonna visualize your identity. What type of man do you need to become to be or what type of woman do you need to become to attract that identity? Because the current version of yourself is not enough to have your goal. Otherwise, you would have your goal. You would live the dream. You would live your desired reality. But because you still haven't become the identity that you need to embody to be able to attract that goal, you're not there yet. So you need to visualize clearly the goal, and you need to visualize clearly what type of person you are in relationship to that goal. All right? And then usually it's like, okay, you feel confident, you feel calm, you feel certain. Right? All these emotions are magic frequencies, basically, right? Confidence, certainty, conviction, knowing that everything is going to work out. That's the emotions that you need to tap into, that is going to help you tap into the frequency of abundance. Cool? And now, last but not least, actions. Abundance aligned actions. What does that mean? Well, you're taking actions from a place of abundance, not scarcity anymore, right? So you're giving value, you're helping out people because you feel so good about yourself, right? It all stems from self-love. The more you love yourself, the more you can help others and you can love others. That's why most of you guys need to be isolated for a bit of time, working on yourself, not necessarily being distracted by everybody else's opinion, because you still don't love yourself enough to be able to give that back to the world. And again, you cannot pour from an empty fucking cup. You need to love yourself more. You need to up-level your self-love for you to then be able to operate from a place of love and abundance and give back to the world. To really summarize this big thing, it will be self-actualization. You need to reach self-actualization of the Maslow's pyramid. I'll do a masterclass on the Maslow's pyramid. And then self-transcend. Reach self-transcendence, meaning giving back to the world. You need to create that's literally your purpose in life. I've understood this unconsciously 4 years ago, but I wasn't able to put words onto it until I discussed with some of my mentors. But it's really your purpose in life is this. That's your purpose in life. It's basically becoming the person you admire, every single aspect that you really look up to in terms of identity, and then you give that person to the world. That's basically your purpose in life. So there you go. If you feel lost, that's your purpose. Become the person you admire and give it to the world. Abundance aligned action. What does that mean? You operate from a place of abundance. You don't operate from a place of scarcity anymore. And aligned actions, cool. So those actions are aligned with what? With your goal. So if you want to become a millionaire, well, maybe a 9-to-5 job is not the best. Maybe climbing the corporate ladder for 40 years is not going to get you there. And then you may tell me, okay, well, but a 9-to-5 job and I put them in investments and stuff like that. The S&P 500 is not going to make you a millionaire if you don't invest a shit ton of money already. Then you can tell me, okay, I'm going to invest in crypto. Cool, but again, you're relinquishing control here because you're waiting for the markets to go up and down to be able to make money. So maybe before trying to invest your money, maybe control your cash flow, right? Maybe try to find a better cash flow system. Because the more influx of money you have in your bank account, the more diverse investments you can make, and therefore the more risk you can take, and therefore the more money you can multiply, right? So abundance aligned action. So maybe if you want, your goal is to be a millionaire, is to be able to retire your parents, is to be able to buy your girlfriend her dream car, her dream house, whatever it is. For instance, one of my precious goal is to buy a gray Aston Martin for my mother and a red one for my father. Either it's going to be a red one for my father, a red Aston Martin, or a red Jaguar, modern Jaguar. He likes red Jaguars. Either way. What are the aligned actions then? Understanding how to create leverage. Remember, reference to the YouTube video number 1. Average people or middle class, they only operate from linear thinking. They exchange their time versus money. The world-class people or the elite or the successful 1%, they exchange their ideas for money, which is why they quantum leap. They don't think linearly, they quantum leap. Cool? So this is literally it. You have a badass morning routine and try to wake up at 4 a.m. or before 4 a.m. It's going to be hard, you're going to feel down and stuff like that. If you feel still negative, do the morning routine that I told you to do. Grab a book immediately when you wake up, read 30 minutes to an hour of top mindset book. I can recommend you one book. Let me recommend you one book. 2 books actually. If you don't know what book to read, these are 2 that I started with. So You Are a Badass from Gen Z Zero. If you lack self-confidence, if you don't really understand where you are in life and you want to develop more faith, develop more confidence, regain certainty in yourself, self-belief, which is absolutely crucial if you want to be successful in life, I recommend this one. You Are a Badass from Gen Z Zero. Really, really helped me. It was one of the first books that absolutely changed my life. And then second one is, if you already have a bit of confidence and you want to become a millionaire and you don't really know how millionaire thinks, how they operate, why they become millionaires and how they become millionaires, the education of millionaires. All right. So waking up at 4 a.m. or before, following the morning routine that I've laid out for you, whatever morning routine works out for you, during the day, whenever you feel your emotions going down, because again, it follows the law of rhythm. You're going to have ups and downs, even during one day. Immediately when you feel down, visualize your goal, your identity. It could be 5 to 10 to 20 minutes just imagining that and feeling extremely good. And then last but not least, once you feel good, once your thoughts are aligned, once your emotions are aligned, then you take abundance aligned actions, right? Taking actions that move the needle the right way. If you want to start your online passion business and unlock 5-figure month with a new cash flow vehicle, click the link in the description. I'll help you out set up everything, set up and scale your online passion business. All right. Either way, so thoughts, emotions, action. This is be, do, have. All right. This is be, and then you take the actions, and then you'll have the results. Cool. It's extremely important, guys. This is how you get lucky. This is not some random chance. Again, Albert Einstein, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. There is no such thing as coincidences. It's all synchronicities. Everything that happens in your life started here, here, and here. All right? So the more aligned you are, the better things you're going to attract. But you need to be extremely conscious in those 3 steps. If you have negative thoughts, if you feel like shit, but you take great actions, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be work hard or work smart. If you think positively, if you feel good, but you don't take no action, nothing's going to happen. You need all 3 planes of existence, all right? Mental plane, spiritual, emotional plane, energetical plane, and physical plane. Cool? You need all of those to be aligned. This is how you get lucky. Again, lucky is a frequency. The universe only responds to your thoughts, your energies, and your aligned actions. When everything is aligned, then you'll get lucky. So this is literally how you make the universe your sugar daddy. You need to have thoughts of certainty, emotions of confidence, and actions of abundance. This is the equation that will grant you lucky results.